Hi ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is gonna be a little different from the ones that I've posted before, just because this is a lot more storytelling. Unfortunately, we had to cut our trip short. It's so hard to put our Bali experience into a few shots. Bali was very special, very needed. It happened at the right moment, and I feel like everybody who I met there felt the same, that they were in Bali at the time that they needed to be. We did a lot of spiritual work, we did a lot of self-work. 2 years ago, I started jogging in the spiritual journey, and yeah, like I said, Bali was like a test to that. It was like, all right, you have been learning, you have been accumulating knowledge, now it's time to put it into practice. Breakfast is served.
Day one at Hustler Villa. Looking fantastic.
We found our villa through an online article that we met before we came to Bali, and it was called Hustler's Villa. So it was like a co-living, co-working space for entrepreneurs, digital nomads, which is what we are. After being there a few days, that's when we started to go out, started to meet the people in the villa, and just started to get involved in what it was to live there. Because if you didn't know, our original plan was to spend 4 months in Bali, which was cut short. You know why? Corona. We're going to the Ubud city center, or I don't know if it would be a city center, but we're going to the Ubud center.
We're gonna go get some clothes. I had to wear some pretty particular
Oh man, I didn't get that on
clothes
video.
today.
He wore my my Adidas leggings for a yoga class. Bright purple color ones too. He looked amazing in them. He did.
I'm not gonna lie, I look pretty damn good.
Oh my god. We didn't bring the helmets. Should we go without helmets? Don't go without helmets.
Go Speed Racer, go!
We rented a scooter for the month as well, to get around. That was just basically the easiest way to get around. So specifically, I want to share with you one of the moments that Verda was driving the scooter and I was riding in the back. I want to say 20 minutes through some beautiful rice fields to get to this restaurant. And as we were driving, I saw a sign that said healing, natural healing. I'm gonna put the picture here so that you guys can see it, because I remember I took a picture of it. And when I saw that, I was like, Roberto, stop. We have to go back. I want to check this place out. We were calling out for the people that own the business, and we saw a little boy. I believe he said something like grandma in broken up English. I guess it was his grandma who came to meet us. And basically she told us that she could do body reading. Basically by looking at the palm of her hand, she could tell, whatever health weaknesses we had. She started telling me stuff that in a way I've always kind of dealt with. And of course I believed her, because how else would she know, right? We ended up running out of time and we left to this restaurant, which was really good. Here it is, check it out.
You know what you want? You're having this.
So we're here at Green Kubu Cafe, about to have some delicious food.
Looks damn good. Not only the food, but what's on the other side of the camera.
And so yeah, this place was beautiful and we went back home. It was really incredible just to kind of feel and see with my own eyes and meet somebody that had such a powerful gift. So we didn't talk to this lady again until something funny that happened. Alberto and I, we woke up, worked a little bit, and then we planned to go to a yoga class at 11. For one reason or another, we ended up being around 8 minutes late to the class. And Alberto wasn't mad, but he wasn't not mad. So I decided to go in, take the yoga class, which was amazing. And Alberto, he ended up going to a water temple That night, I did not sleep very well because I heard noises coming from the kitchen. I don't know. We just said, whatever. The next day, we hear sounds coming from the kitchen. Again. A little louder this time. And we were thinking that it was some sort of gecko, that it was maybe a rat or something that was like going through the trash, because that's what we heard. We heard like something moving in the trash can, plastic moving. So we told, the Villa manager, Dina. So she brought her staff to cover all the holes in the kitchen. They checked the whole kitchen. There was nothing. On the third day, a local who was super nice offered to show us rice fields and offered to show us a really beautiful part of Ubud. That day, we caught these little guava balls. Next day, we wake up and the guava was eaten. Look at the shape of that. It was something. We didn't eat it, and it was eaten overnight. And we checked, it was a small kitchen, so we literally checked every corner and we didn't find anything. On the 7th night, I was in my sleep, and I kid you not, I heard like an evil whisper next to my ear that brought me back to an awake state. And I heard like a right next to my ear. And I told Alberto what had happened, and he was kind of half asleep, so he was like, oh, don't worry. It happened again for a second time, and the second time Alberto heard it. Honestly, I want to say that it was like a spirit and energy, something that was not very happy with us. Anyways, that was the last straw for me. I called the Villa manager. She didn't pick up. It was like 3 a.m. So then the next morning, we tell her that it's urgent, that she needs to come. Then we tell her, please call the lady that we had gone to. And she said, oh, the lady says if something happened to you at 3 a.m. And I'm like, yes, she's asking because she had something in her sleep, bit her hand, and she immediately thought of you and Alberto. It says that there's something dark following you. Then she asked if we had gone to maybe a water temple or to somewhere in nature. And then that's when it clicked that Alberto had gone, that day that he was pissed from the yoga class, he had gone to a water temple. And, as the tourists that we were, we didn't know, but basically water temples have guardians there. Guardians for nature. The energy, the spirit that was guarding that water temple was pissed at Alberto for not respecting the fact that when you go into a water temple, you have to cleanse yourself. You actually have to wear special garments to go into the water temple. And you have to ask for permission to touch the water, to touch the land. What we did is we bought some incense, the incense that they use in all their rituals and all their, holiday celebrations. The staff at the villa created a beautiful offering. We left the offering in the kitchen, and we were just asking for forgiveness. That same day after we did the smudging, we actually ended up going to a water temple. We are at a temple about to do a water purification with a local who is very, very nice. We did this one with a local woman who had a gift for those things as well. She picked us up, she took us to a beautiful temple. She led us through a water purification ceremony, which again was so beautiful, so rewarding, so lifting, and just like you leave out of there so light because you let go of so much and the water washes that away from you. It's really kind of hard to believe in this sort of stuff like ghosts and this and stuff, but it's true. There's so many things that we cannot see with our senses, so many things beyond our eyes. Imagine like how many dimensions are on top of us that maybe they can see us and we can't see them. So that was a huge lesson. We're going to a nice little meditation that they're gonna have here and close to the city or to the Ubud Center. One of these meditations was really nice because they had a vegan buffet after the meditation, which this was something that they did every Sunday. So it was kind of really cool to meet so many interesting people, and just so many people, going there with the goal of being a better person and connecting with oneself. I am on my way
to a cacao ceremony, so let's see how this goes. I'm excited.
It was just literally pure high grade Peruvian cacao mixed with some essential oils. You know, we put an intention, we did a ritual, and it was so amazing. And the message that I got from, you know, the cacao plant from Mother Earth was about self-love, which is something that I've been practicing ever since, because at times, you know, we tend to be hard on ourselves, we tend to be insecure, we tend to not really do what our soul truly desires. It wasn't psychedelic, but believe me that there was some sort of magic there.
Just finished the cacao ceremony, and what an experience. We've had a really long day, and now we're stranded because this morning when we went to go get our scooter, somebody had tipped it over, so the mirror wasn't there, it was broken, and since we were doing a long drive, we decided not to drive with that scooter. So we told the, let's say, house manager or the villa manager what we're saying about it, so she said, take my scooter. It turns out the scooter is not the best, and now it turned off completely, and we're just stranded here and God knows where. This is the real Bali experience. Tell us a few words what the Bali experience really is.
There are no words.
We are walking back to the scooter. Hopefully, no. It's going to turn on. It turned on. It's going to turn on. It didn't turn on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Yes! Yes! Sí, por favor, vámonos. Vámonos.
So another retreat that we did in Bali was called Breathing Cold. I think that was one of my favorite things that we did while we were in Bali. And it was basically learning, you know, Wim Hof breathing techniques mixed with Dr. Joe Dispenza's knowledge, and it was just so amazing. It was 3 days where we were completely disconnected from our phones, from society, from everything. And the activities that we did were so rewarding. One of them being ice baths. And we learned how to control the mind so that you could stay in the ice bath for 10 minutes through breathing methods, through a lot of different things that we learned. The third day, let's say the graduation was to be in the ice bath for 10 minutes. And your girl did the most out of anybody. And the only reason why I even brag about this is because I was so proud of myself. I remember on day one thinking like, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to do 10 minutes. Why did I even sign up for this? Why did I even, pay for this? Why? Like, I don't like the cold. I'm from Colombia, and then I grew up in Florida. Have never liked the cold. It taught me so many things about myself. It taught me how strong I am, how strong we all are, and how strong our mind is. We just have to literally get in touch with it and work and practice and really believe in ourselves. I'll leave the info right here too, so if you guys ever do go to Bali, do this retreat. You will not regret it. So as I said, that retreat was for 3 days where we had to be completely disconnected. And on the third day, as we were, wrapping up and saying our goodbyes, our mediator told us about how COVID had just gotten completely out of hand. This was in March. Unfortunately, our visa in Bali was about to expire, and we were gonna have to leave to Malaysia and do what they call a visa run, and then try to come back into the country. But during the time, the people at the villa started leaving, and then you heard, oh, this person's leaving, that person's leaving, flight bans are going on, the countries are gonna close. And we decided, after talking to some people and after doing a method, I will let you know which method right here. And the answer that this method gave us was to go back home.
We have to head home because there's travel bans going on, flights are being canceled. Might as well just just really go home and make the most of it, and hope that this clears up very fast so that we can come back. Actually, we're gonna quarantine ourselves for 14 days before we get to see our families. But until now, it's a see you later, Bali.
Bali was an amazing experience, a magical experience, and most of all, a learning experience. It allowed me to see so many things about myself that I had to face, accept, and let go, especially since right after we left, the pandemic hit. It was the perfect timing to do all of that self-reflection. I hope to one day go back again, and I encourage you all to visit this place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Until next time.